There's your conclusion. Wide tyres won't help you if you're crap at off-roading. Have you seen the size of these? These are my new gravel tyres. I haven't used them yet, as you can see, they're fresh out the box, but I'm gonna see if I can be converted to mountain bike tyres on my gravel bike, basically. You've probably seen mountain bike style or mountain bike width gravel tyres being used in lots of top tier gravel races. So Unbound, loads of people were using 50mm tyres, whereas 45mm used to be wide on gravel. No longer. And if your frame can fit them, then apparently we should all be fitting really wide tyres like these. These are Continental's Race King. They're 2.2 inches wide. Luckily the Lauf can fit 57mm tyres, so there's a bit of room to spare. The physics is kind of a bit counterintuitive though. Like, wider tyres, we've been told for so many years is slower, and now all of a sudden we're being told they're faster. I mean, there's no way that it's more aero, so can it make up for it in rolling resistance? Well, I'm gonna try and find out. I've got a race at the weekend, a gravel race. It's called Gripfest, it's in mid-Wales. And I've done it for the last 3 years now. It's one of my favourite gravel events. And I've been a bit torn on what bike to use, what tyres to use. But for the last 3 years, I've used my Lauf Seigla with the suspension fork at the front and 45mm Schwalbe G1s. I've been quite happy on it. There's some stages where you feel like you might want a hardtail mountain bike. There's other really fast bits where you feel like it's definitely gravel bike territory. So maybe this will be the best of both worlds. Or maybe I've just absolutely ruined my gravel bike. There's only one way to find out, isn't there? I have just realised a slight issue. This front tyre I've put on backwards. You see around here, it says rotation. There's an arrow which quite clearly goes not the way it's going to spin. That's what you get when you fit tyres at 10 o'clock at night. Okay, we're ready to ride. I am intrigued to see how these tyres perform. We haven't had any issues with them so far, so let's go on a ride. Well, I've ridden about 10 meters so far and I've spotted an issue already. I now get toe overlap. So where I actually have my cleats quite far, I have my foot quite far back, and even so, yeah, that's gonna be really annoying when going slowly and trying to like do any technical bits. Maybe we should just all have hardtail mountain bikes if we want to run mountain bike tyres. Am I gonna move my cleats? Am I gonna put up with it? Or am I gonna change my tyres? Nah, let's just crack on. Yeah, pretty positive. On stuff like this, they definitely feel nice. I haven't done any like long, really straight, fast bits yet. All the fast bits I've done have actually been a little bit rocky. So I guess find out there whether they're more draggy, whether there's that aero penalty and whether you can feel that. What I would say is, if you have a rock like that, if you're on like a 38mm or a 40mm gravel tyre, then you're gonna want to go around that. On my 45mm gravel tyres, you'd be absolutely fine going over it, like no problems. But would I choose to go around it? Yes, probably. If I saw that on the track and there was a clear bit here, I would probably choose to go around it. The wider your tyre, the more you can go over basically, or more it's comfortable to go over. The more you can go over without losing speed or it rolling off the side of it. And what I have found is on these tyres, I just don't care as much what I'm riding over. Like on a track like this, there's basically nothing that you can't ride full pelt at. So that's quite nice. But yeah, now to go and find some climbs, because obviously a penalty of using wider tyres is usually additional weight. And if there's not a weight penalty, then it normally means they've got really fragile sidewalls and you're going to tear it as soon as you hit anything rocky. So yeah, generally bit of a weight penalty, Let's go and find out if that makes any difference. Test 2. Come on, big tyres. I haven't cleared this hill before. Can I clear them on the mountain bike tyres? Let's go. I mean, I'm kind of glad I'm on these ones, to be honest. Oh, that's quite loose there, though. Oh dear, I didn't choose to be over here. Ah, no. I still haven't cleared it then. Oh well. Need to find a good spot. Get going again. Right, we should be all right from there. Right, wide tyres be grippy. I'm not clipped in. Yes! Planned my celebration and everything. Now I can't use it. To be honest though, I would rather be on these tyres for that. My opinion at the moment is it depends what gravel you want to be riding. If you want to ride more mountain bikey stuff, use mountain bike tyres on your gravel bike. Although actually, then you would just get a hardtail mountain bike. And that is something that I do strongly believe in. There's lots of manufacturers pushing you towards a gravel bike or like trying to tell you that that's the greatest thing in existence. I do agree they are great because a lot of people need to ride on the road to get to their off-road. However, if you have a road bike, potentially an all-road bike, if you don't race, you can basically get away with having an all-road bike. You can do dusty trails on that. And then if you want to go off-road, hardtail mountain bike, which of course you can still use on the road. It just might be a bit more draggy. So, is the answer putting mountain bike tyres on your gravel bike? Yes, it probably makes it better, but is a hardtail mountain bike not even better? That's the next question I need to answer. Onwards. Ugh. Well, test ride number 1 done. They've done enough to convince me to use them at the weekend. So today we've sort of been, well, almost purely on either this sort of terrain, like fire roads, or much rockier stuff. And on here, I've been enjoying them. I've been sold. However, I must admit, we haven't done a lot. Well, I barely touched any tarmac at all. And I haven't done much fast stuff. I don't think I've gone above like 25 kph the entire day. So it'll be interesting at the weekend to see when things do get a bit faster, because there's a real mix of stages. Some of them are quite technical, rocky, like some of the stuff we've done today. And then other bits are just half an hour segment, go, rolling, but fast, open fire track like this. So yeah, intriguing. From what I've seen so far, not a bad effort from the mountain bike tyres at all. Right, before we get on to the conclusion of this video, please do make sure you're subscribed to the channel because, well, it really does help us make as much bike content as possible. So yeah, click the button. And without further ado, here is the bike that I used for Gripfest. So this is the setup that I chose to use. And as you will see, it does indeed have the wide tyres still fitted. And in the end, I think that that probably was the right decision for me because, well, in typical Welsh fashion, the weather took a turn for the worse and it was no longer quite so dusty. Off-road, and I am 99% sure that the wide tyres are the faster option. Now, it's very hard to measure aerodynamics in the real world, but lots of pros, all those pro riders unbound that you see using wide tyres, they have had plenty of wind tunnel time, and if they're doing it, then it's quite easy to imagine that me and you travelling at much lower speeds inevitably, then there's even more benefit to using wide tyres. So let's get into that a bit deeper. On descents, I was definitely more confident and less wary of my line choices when using these tyres. On technical sections, I was glad of the additional grip, and on the road, I was pleasantly surprised by how well these Race Kings rolled. Wide tyres sound like a nailed-on winner then, but my choice does come with a few caveats. I hate saying it depends, but it really does depend. It depends on what gravel you will be riding. If you just want to do some light tow paths and things like that, then fit a 45mm, fit and forget. You don't need anything wider. However, if you want to travel as fast as possible over a whole range of gravel surfaces, then I think basically fit as wide as your frame will allow. And that's a good point actually, because a lot of frames won't take tyres this wide, and well, that makes your decision quite easy, doesn't it? Now, I do think that bike manufacturers are going to have to listen to consumers and the science and start making their clearances a lot wider. And they have, to be fair. A lot of even the race bikes, race gravel bikes that we've seen released this year have got those wider clearances. That Villia Rave ID2 springs to mind. Now, I say that, fit as wide a tyre as possible, and then I'm actually going to contradict myself almost immediately, because what I now want to do to this bike is move down to a 50mm tyre. So these are 55mm, 2.2 inch. I think a 2.1 inch or 50mm is going to be the sweet spot for my riding and this bike. And I'm making that decision because I'm hoping that it will eliminate that overlap that you saw I got earlier. Therefore, hopefully I can have all the benefits of big tyres without any of the negatives. In conclusion then, wide gravel tyres have done enough to convince me that they are a genuine option rather than just a gimmick. Let me know whether you agree or disagree with my tyre choice down in the comments below, as well as any questions that you'd like us to answer on the channel next. We'll see you next time.